Hey everyone, TJ here with Amazing Emporium. I just wanted to give you a quick review of that Ant-Man movie. I loved it, so let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to do this video a little different. I have some notes written down here, so if you see me looking down a lot or looking to the left a lot, whatever, I'm going to try to edit as much of it out as I can and see if I can make a great watchable video. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about the film, but most are saying it's just okay. For one, I love the movie. I thought it was pretty great. You know, for what it is, it's a story about Ant-Man, who, as far as I know, was never really a great seller for Marvel Comics as his own book. But Hank Pym is pretty important to the Marvel Universe, just being a great scientist and the things he's done. So it's very important to have him to come into the Marvel Universe, even as Scott Lang. So we're going to get into that and just make it what it is. I, for one, love the movie. I thought it was great. I thought Paul Rudd did a great job as Scott Lang, and you know, it doesn't have to be Iron Man the remake or Avengers 3 or Captain America 5 or whatever you want to call it. It's Ant-Man and it is what it is. I mean, so stop having any preconceived notions of what it should be. Ant-Man has never been one of my favorite characters, and as far as I know, he's never really been a big seller for Marvel Comics. So for what this movie is, I mean, it's really good. I mean, it's really great. It's very entertaining. The story for me did start off a little slow. I mean, when we first jump into the movie, but it does pick up after, you know, after some of the key characters are introduced. So it's not like it just drags on and drags on. I mean, it does start out a little slow, but it does pick up, and the payoff is huge. Rudd does do a great job bringing a real likable and funny vibe to Scott, but also a true sense of vulnerability to his character, most noticeably from the separation he has from his daughter, because he made some poor choices that got himself in a lot of trouble with the law and even thrown in jail. Hank Pym, who's played by Michael Douglas, is the original Ant-Man from the comics. In the movie, he plays the part of mentor to Scott Lang to help him become the new Ant-Man, as well as give him a shot to redeem himself to his daughter as well as to the law by stopping Ross, who's played by Corey Stoll, from providing like the mini soldier technology to Hydra. So Hank Pym is or was Ant-Man, you know, historically, and it shows some of the backstory of Michael Douglas as Ant-Man. But you know, he's basically training. He got out of it because it was just too much for him. I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers. So I mean, there's a few in here, but I'm trying not to give away too much. Just trying to give an honest review of the movie. But yeah, it does show kind of the backstory of him as Ant-Man and you know, his wife as the Wasp. Now, I thought Peyton Reed, who is the director of the movie, he balanced the story as well as the introduction of new characters, as well as with some characters that we're already familiar with. He also took like the comic relief and just blended that all together very well. I mean, it all kind of like, you don't feel like anything's choppy or you don't know what's going on, so everything coincides together very well. I mean, even like just the ants in the movie, you know what I mean? It's all these millions and millions of ants that are running around, and there's one that Scott Lang, you know, adopts as Antony, and he gets hurt or killed, and you know, I really felt sad when I seen him get killed. So even tying all that together made it a little bit of heartfelt and emotional, and it was really great. So you know something's going right when there's like hundreds of insects getting hurt, and you actually feel bad for them. And you're like, oh my God, why are they getting hurt? They're the good guys. The visual effects for the movie are tip top. I mean, everything is just wham bam in your face. It's awesome. I mean, he's growing from, 6 centimeters to 6 foot tall, and he's hitting guys, shrinking down, hitting them again, popping back up big again. I mean, he's running, doing flips, flipping through keyholes, and it's just amazing. I was really blown away by the special effects, so it's really awesome. I don't know, I've heard a couple of people say that there's not enough action in this movie. I don't know what movie you were watching. I don't know if you might have had preconceived notions of what was going to be there. I don't know if you thought it was going to be Avengers 5 or whatever you thought it was going to be, but if you say there's not enough action in this movie, you need to take that stick out of your ass and go watch it again. And I think a lot of us really need to do that a lot when we're watching comic book movies. We have to remember that this is the film medium. This is not comic books. So the things that happen in comic books cannot happen in movies. I mean, there's not going to be an Avengers 168. There's not going to be an Ant-Man number 75. I mean, we're lucky if these films get past number 6 or 7. I mean, and then that would be amazing. But just to think, and I've heard things being said like, oh, well, they made Scott Lang, he's not the first Ant-Man. Hank Pym was the first one, so that's the way it's gotta be. No, that's not the way it's gotta be. I'm pretty sure Marvel did that because that's how the new Marvel Universe is going. Scott Lang is the Ant-Man in his own story right now. So why not have him in the movie? Hank Pym was the Ant-Man of old. You know, he's the first generation Ant-Man. When the Avengers first came out back in the 60s, 70s, that's when Hank Pym was around. And now it's a new generation. It's a new group of people. Marvel's going all new with their universe. So it's just the way it's got to be. It's the way it's going to be, and I'm totally okay with it. We got to see Hank Pym in the movie. We got to see flashbacks to the old Ant-Man. We know where it came from. And for general audiences, that's how it is. And that's how it's got to be. I mean, you can't just have movies just made for comic book guys, because they wouldn't make as much money as they do, and they wouldn't be as cool as they are because they're getting a lot of money and big budgets to make these movies. So we should be happy with what they're doing. And every one of the Marvel movies, up to me, they're all coming out awesome. 100%. I mean, sure, I'd like to see a couple little details switched around, but you can't get everything you want all the time. I'm glad it's as good as it is, and I'm glad they're still coming out awesome, and I'm glad they're planning on making more. I was also super stoked when we got a little teaser mention for Spider-Man by Lewis, who was played by Michael Pena. When he was talking at the end when Scott Lang walked up and he was talking, he's like, yeah, we was talking to all these girls, and she was like, yeah, we got all the new guys, we got guys that swinging around on webs, we got guys that are climbing up walls. I was super stoked when I heard that, so it was really great. And I haven't even heard anybody in any other reviews mention that, but I think I should throw it out there, so you should really, really pay attention to that. I was super happy. I wanted a Spider-Man mid-credit scene or an end-credit scene. I didn't get it, but that's okay. Civil War is coming soon, and I can't wait. There are 2 end-credit scenes. Well, one would be the mid-credit scene, where we get to see Hope Van Dyne walk in with her father Hank to see the Wasp costume. It's not the Wasp, it's Wasp. So I know I said the Wasp a couple times, but kind of just rambling on. But it's very cool looking, it's very sexy, very sleek. The outfit looks amazing. I'm sure Hope Van Dyne is going to look great in it. And I'm sure some fanboys out there are going to be dissing as, oh, it's supposed to be Janet in there. Why not Janet? Why's it going to be Hope? Well, shut the F up, because it's going to be great. If anybody should be complaining about anything, it's the end credit scene, which I've heard a couple people say was great. It shows Bucky Barnes chained to some kind of thing with Captain America and the Falcon talking for about a minute, if that, 45 seconds, 50 seconds. How was that great? It wasn't awesome. I'd have rather have seen a glimpse of Spider-Man. That's just me. I've already seen the Falcon, I already seen Bucky, I already seen Cap. I know who they are. I know Civil War's coming. It was kind of lame. Really lame. So, but that's it. That's the end of this review. I hope if you like it, go ahead and like the video, share it, and subscribe to my channel if you like what you see, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you more great videos. The visual effects for the movie are tip top, awesome. I thought my camera was over there, but it's really over here, so sorry about that. But the visual effects are tip top. I mean, they're right up there with all the rest of the Marvel movies. Really amazing. I mean, he's growing from 6 foot tall to 6 centimeters, flipping through keyholes on doors, and then he's punching guys, shrinking down, kicking them, growing back up, flipping them over. It's amazing. Pretty good. Pretty good. Why did I say pretty good? I mean, it's awesome.